Hey guys, how are you? I'm Diana, otherwise known as Dianka, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you some clips on my journey of creating this painting right here. For those that are new here, I am an epoxy resin artist. I create resin art and I also sell art supplies for other resin artists to use, and I have 3 incredible courses for those who want to learn how to work with resin art that are actually on sale, so you might want to take advantage of those. The first one is for beginners who want to learn how to work with epoxy resin. The next one is for those who want to learn how to create geode resin art, like the one I'm creating today. And the last course is an ocean course for people who want to learn how to create ocean resin artwork. They're on sale right now, and it's a really big one, so if you're interested in those, now's a good time. Once you enroll in my courses, you'll also have a discount code to my store, which is really cool. I'm gonna make this intro really quick and just show you what supplies I used from my online store to create this painting. If anyone's interested in any of these supplies, it's all on diankapours.com. And if you're interested in the art itself, it's also on diankapours.com. And that's about it. I'm gonna pull the colors off the shelf and explain them to you a little bit more. And I think that's it. Simple. Just like 3 colors. Okay, we've got our selection. So I'm going to start with the main color, which is Dewdrop. This is actually really cool because it's like a green color, but it also shifts into blue and gold in certain areas too, which is very fun, and why I wanted to work with this one, because if you look at it from one angle, it's green. If you look at it at another angle, it's blue. Pretty cool. And I usually like to just use like one main color and then pick a gold or a silver or like a metallic floating color. So to pair with this, I actually used antique gold for them to go together, which means I used antique gold glitter because I have glitter that matches the golds that I carry in store. So I'm using both the fine and the chunky glitter for this. This right here is just pale antique gold. I used it towards the end and I'll explain that later. White, of course, you can't go wrong with some Excellence white. This one is a paste, so it doesn't have any mica powder, so it's not shimmery or anything like that. It's just like a thick, really, really good white. And then, of course, the most important star of the show is glitter glass. So I'll be sifting this over some glass points to make the glass shimmer even more. It's good stuff. And then I also want to introduce to you, because I don't think I've introduced these into my YouTube videos, but my Eco Sticks. This is a pack of 50, and they're really nice because when you work with resin art and you're mixing and the resin dries on your stick, then you have to throw them away and it's just wasteful. So these are super bendy, so once you're done with it, you can bend it and the resin snaps off and you can reuse them, which is super cool. So this is my selection right here for the whole painting. This is literally all I used. All of this is on my website, diankapours.com. My courses are on my website, and my artwork, if you want to purchase artwork, is on my website too. And that's about it. Let's get into it. I wanted to show you Dewdrop in the jar and just how that blue reflects around the rim. You can kind of see it there. And I was also choosing between Golden Leaf and Wild Ivy in the beginning. You can see Golden Leaf I'm holding here, and this is Wild Ivy. But I decided to go with Dewdrop because I really loved the effect of the shifting colors from green to gold to blue, and I thought it'd be really cool in this painting. And here you can see, as I'm adding Dewdrop into my cup, you can see the gold show up, and then if you're looking on the edges and the rim of the cup, you can see that blue start to peek through. And this is what dewdrop looks like from multiple angles. You can see the blue and the gold and the green. Oh, it looks so good. I love the way it just captures all the colors in different ways. Love it. So just like in the last YouTube video I posted, I made a mistake on this painting as well. I removed the borders on the painting way too late, and so the resin had already kind of hardened way too much, and so it had trouble going over the edges and completely covering them, so they hardened as drips, and so I had to take the painful route of sanding it all down and restarting these edges all over again. So I primed them and retouched them, and I'll show you how I did that later in this video. First, I want to show you how I clean up the edges of this fireglass, and what I actually do is I create a border using glitter. So my mixture is using my antique gold chunky and antique gold fine. It's the same color as the antique gold that I used earlier in the painting. So it matches the same shade, and I'm using both the fine and the chunky to create a mixture to then pour a glitter border around the glass. At this point of the video, you're probably wondering, what am I placing on my glass points? Well, I was actually testing something new, which is now available on my website. It's called Luxe Druzy Texture Blend. And basically what this is small stone granules, which mimic the druzy effect that you get when you crack open a geode and you look inside and you can see the sparkly druzy in there. This is supposed to create and mimic that sort of effect. So what you do is you add it to some mixed resin, and I like to place it on my glass section, typically surrounding my quartz, just to add some dimension and height and texture surrounding my quartz, but you can place it literally anywhere on your painting. This is what it looks like dry. I have some samples that I wanted to show you, and basically when it's still not hardened, you can place it anywhere on your painting, add some height, add some dimension, and you'll have a second texture that's not fireglass, so it just makes everything look more interesting. This comes in a 16-ounce jar, 1 pound and 10 ounces of the texture blend, and it is available on my website under the glass, quartz, and cubic zirconia tab. And now for my favorite part, which is bringing this fireglass alive. So in order to secure the fireglass on the painting, I drown it in resin, and then what happens is it loses its shimmer. So in order to restore it, I use my glitter glass that I saw on my website, and I sprinkle it over the wet resin on top of the fireglass, and oh my gosh, does it make a difference. It looks like a real druzy. It brings so much sparkle and luster and life to these druzys. It's really, truly my favorite part of this process. And now back to the sides. So I had to repair them, and my idea was to take some white acrylic paint, mix in my dewdrop mica powder, and turn it into a dewdrop tinted paint, and kind of get those sides covered, because as a resin artist, I'm sure you've had this struggle where the resin thins out as it pours over the sides, and so it just doesn't retain the color on there really nicely, so I decided to paint the sides instead. And here what I'm doing is I'm taking my pale antique gold pigment powder and turning it into a paint, but instead of using acrylic paint like I just did previously, I'm using gloss varnish instead. And so I'm going to use this to draw over my glass points just to clean it up some more. If you're interested in the gloss varnish, it is in my Amazon link that I posted below, as well as all the other materials. You'll see the links listed below in my description for them. When I stepped back and I looked at this area right here, my eyes just got drawn right to it. It looked so bare, so I decided to get some texture, kind of cover it up and see how that would look, and I actually really liked it. So I added some quartz in there, dressed it up really nice, and then I noticed that it still looked kind of bare, so I added some glitter to close it off, and voila, it looks so much better. The final thing that I want to mention is when you take your metallic colors and you mix them with gloss varnish and you're ready to paint onto the glass like I'm doing right here, it still comes up a little bit dull because the metallic particles in that powder are sitting and sinking to the bottom of the paint, and so you need to activate it. So the way that you do that is just using some heat. So I'm taking a blowtorch and I'm adding it to here, and you can see that as I pass through it several times, those particles are being activated and they're lifting to the top, and the gold is becoming so beautiful and vibrant. If you've gotten this far, I want to thank you for being here. I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers, which is crazy. So if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you subscribed and liked. All of my art supplies are on my website, diankapours.com. My courses are on my website, and as well as my artwork. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.